So when we come in for that morning character meeting, that would be after everyone's arrived, you've taken attendance, you've started with the music going, you've had them doing some sort of morning work, maybe it's a math problem, something along those lines. And then you're going to call to attention, right? So this sound says, okay, it's my turn, right? You've been focusing on you right now. Now it's Dr. Benfield's turn. So I'm not going to have to say anything to you, but you're going to know that this sound means you stop what you're doing and you come to the carpet because it's my turn to talk to you, right? So then I would give that indicator and I would say something that is my routine to start off that morning character meeting. So for me, it would be something like this. At the sound of the chime, I'm going to ask you to breathe out anything that does not serve you. Do you want to turn sideways so they can kind of see? Can you guys see them? Okay. Breathe in positivity. Breathe out and let go of negativity. Breathe in love. Breathe out and let go of anger or hatred. Breathe in mindfulness. Breathe out and let go of distracting thoughts. At the sound of the chime, take a moment to set your intention for the day. What is your purpose for learning today? All right, so once we get through that, and the kids would know, it would be more of a routine, so you would explain to them what certain things mean. So when I say, what is your intention for today, they know that that means what is my goal for learning today, okay? So I brought 2 books, and I may not go through the whole book because of time, and I may, I don't know, it just depends on how we're feeling here. But the first book that I brought is because this is for when you're feeling like, you know, we've all held meetings where the class can all sit still, right? And then we have days, or we have classes where the class cannot sit still, or they have trouble with that. So I brought a book to show you examples of ways to handle that when you have a class that has trouble sitting still through a meeting, okay? So I'm going to start with a class that you feel like they can handle this. They're going to sit here and they're going to listen to you. So boys and girls, I've asked you to bring a stuffed animal with you today. It could be your favorite stuffed animal. So Malachi, at this point in time, I'd probably ask them to turn to their partner, turn and talk and tell their partner the name of their stuffed animal. But why don't you tell us the name of your stuffed animal?
Mario.
This is Mario. Because if you don't give them a chance to tell about what they brought from home, they're going to be antsy sitting there thinking, I brought this from home and I can't even tell anybody about it, right? So they're not even really listening to you. So you want to give them their moment when they get there. So today we're going to be reading The Power of Henry's Imagination. All right, so what we know is that Henry's favorite toy was a rabbit called Raspberry. Raspberry was white with fluffy silver ears and a red nose that looked just like a raspberry. Sometimes Henry was sure that raspberries smelled like raspberries too. Henry and Raspberry had been together a very, very long time. 5 years, 3 months, and 11 and a half days to be exact. Grandpa had given Raspberry to Henry the day Henry was born, knowing they would have many, many adventures. Everyone could see how much Henry loved Raspberry. From dawn until dusk, they did everything together. One morning, Henry decided to take Raspberry to the veggie patch to teach him how to dig up carrots. But Henry couldn't find Raspberry. Henry looked for Raspberry in all the usual places, like underneath Grandpa, on top of the lamp, and inside pillowcases. But Raspberry wasn't anywhere. Can you think of a time that you've lost your favorite stuffed animal? No? That's good. That's good. All right, then Henry turned his whole bedroom upside down, but even that did not unearth Raspberry. Henry was starting to feel worried. Henry got his mom and dad to help him search the whole house for Raspberry. By the time they finished, the place was a huge mess, and they still hadn't found With tears sliding down his cheeks, Henry went to Grandpa, who was sitting in his favorite armchair, reading one of his favorite books. Grandpa, can you please help me find Raspberry? I've looked everywhere. Grandpa put down his book, pushed his glasses down his nose, and leaned forward. Henry, Grandpa said in his warm, knowledgeable voice, if you've looked everywhere, then there's only one thing left to do. What do you think that one thing is?
I think that one thing is your imagination.
To use your imagination. Good answer. So then he goes on to say that when you don't have something, or you basically, this is a lesson in if you lose someone, right? So if you lose someone, you can think of them and you have those memories in your brain, and you can always go back to recall those. It also goes into making things come to fruition, right? So if we're teaching our kids that if they visualize things, they can also make them happen. So if you believe that you want to be a doctor, or you believe you want to be a soccer player, or whatever that is, we use our imagination as children to visualize those things and make them become a reality, right? Just as we thought we wanted to be teachers, and we made that happen because we visualized it, we imagined it, and then we took the appropriate steps to do that. So this is a book that teaches those things. But now I want to show you kind of what that would look like if you have a class that's really antsy or has trouble sitting still. And this would just be an alternative to that. So at the